Hello there. Hello there. My name is Mr. J3T, aka Big Sexy, aka the Kentucky Cannon, aka the World Class Badass, aka Chocolate Thunder with Caramel Swirl, aka Black Lightning with Peanut Butter Filling, aka Easy Bake, aka the Houdini of Sexy, aka what shall I be called today? Aka the man of 1,000 laughs. Yeah. I don't. What does that nickname mean? Who knows? It's up to you. But I just thought of that on the spot, and I take it as that I provide the laughs. So, today, on this lovely, lovely Monday, we are going to be talking about an anime called Akudama Drive. I got that right on the first try. Akudama Drive. Alright. So, Akudama Drive is basically like, how do I put it? It's basically like the Suicide Squad, kinda. There's this group of criminals called Akudama, hence the name Akudama Drive. Uh, there's this group of criminals called Akudama, and they sort of like get roped into this mission where they have to break out these two immortal kids who are being transported to somewhere to do something. I'm not going to explain. I'm not going to give it away. But they basically have to free these kids, transport them to somewhere else so where they could be safe and not be used for nefarious means. And meanwhile, while all this is happening, our main girl, our main character, she gets roped into this. See, she's just an ordinary person. She's not an Akudama. So, and she sort of just gets wrapped up into this whole situation. And that's the gist of it. So, when I first heard about this, and when I first saw like the trailer, I thought it was just gonna be, just your high octane, action heavy anime, right? Because there's these fluid, awesome fight scenes, big old like explosions and stuff. Like our our guy Courier. Uh, I should explain this now. We don't actually know these characters' actual names, the actual Akidama that we follow. They only go by Courier, Hacker, Doctor, Brawler, and Hoodlum, and our main girl, who gets roped into this, she goes by Swindler. So we don't know their actual names, they just go by what they do, their occupation, if you will. So we see Courier, he's riding on his bike. It's a weird little Tron bike that shoots lasers and stuff. So I thought this was just going to be your mindless fun, mindless action, and for the most part, I got that. I got that for the most part, and I enjoyed it. I expected that. But you see, what I didn't expect is that I would actually get emotionally attached to these characters to the point where I was genuinely sad whenever characters started to die, because characters die in this anime. I'm not gonna tell you guys who dies, but just know that characters will die. So, yeah, damn you, Akidama Drive. Damn you for actually making me care about these characters. I I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that I would actually like really get attached to these characters. Like our main girl Swindler, I love her. she is awesome. She starts off as just this regular civilian, but as the series goes on, the show goes on, I mean, she just turns into such a badass, such a resourceful, scrappy badass. And that's awesome to see. I was really rooting for her to like get out of this situation and just go back to her normal life. Like, guys, I'm not going to say what happens to her throughout the show, but I will say this. She does not deserve any of what happens to her in this show. She doesn't deserve any of it. Okay? The only reason she got sucked into this in the first place was because she was trying to give back some money that Courier dropped. That's how she got sucked into this. She literally just wanted to return some money to Courier. Like, she doesn't deserve it. She didn't deserve anything that happened to her in this show. Like, oh my god. Ooh. Oh man. Oh, guys. Like, I got to say that Swindler was like possibly my favorite character because she's like the only real, genuinely good person in this show. Don't get me wrong, all the other characters, they do have their good moments. Like Brawler, for example, he's like this big, strong guy, but he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Like he's strong, but he's not all the way there, up there, you know. But there comes a point where he says, "Look, I'm down to fight anybody, but bullying, nah, I won't do that." And Courier, we, when I first saw him, I thought he was just going to be your stereotypical like edge lord, but he really grows into an MVP of the show. Like this, I'm not going to say what happens, but just know that this man will finish a job. If you give him a job, he will finish it, and that's cool to see. So each character, each one of the Akidamas, they have their good moments. Good moments, like Brawler and another Akidama, Hoodlum. They have a genuinely cute, wholesome friendship, and that was cute to see. So each one of the Akidama, they have their good moments, except for Doctor. She's a bitch. But each, aside from the bitch Doctor, everybody else, they have their good moments, but all in all, they're still like bad people. But Swindler, our main girl, she's like the only genuinely good person in this show. Like, she wasn't even in it for the money. Like, she didn't want to be a part of this, but when she found out that the people that employed her were kids, like, she genuinely wanted to help them get out of this situation and set them free. And it's really sad, like, see all the stuff that happens to her in this show because she doesn't deserve any of it. She deserved nothing. Like, oof. Oh my god, she didn't deserve any of it. Nothing. She deserved nothing that happened to her in this show. Okay, that girl was so goddamn good and so goddamn pure that it genuinely pissed me off to like see anything bad happen to her, which is a testament to this show for actually making me care about these characters. So again, damn you, Akudama Drive. Damn you. Damn you for actually making me like these characters, except for that bitch Doctor. Oh, okay. So, I guess since I'm on the topic, the characters, for the majority, I like them, you know? You know that saying, I came for X and I stayed for Y? I came for something and I stayed for this thing. That's me. Like, I came for the action and I stayed for the characters and their interactions with each other because they're genuinely good characters. They're good, quirky characters. Um, like I said, Brawler and Hoodlum, they have a genuinely wholesome friendship. They have this, and it's great to see them bounce off of each other and just goof off. And I liked that. Those two were really cool together, and it was cool to see that they had this, genuine friendship. And I'm not gonna say what happens, but yeah, just know that it doesn't end too well for them, for one of them, well, both of them. It doesn't end well, and that's sad to see. But for the time that we saw it, it was cute. It was fun. It was fun to see them bounce off of each other. Um, Courier, I already talked about Courier. I thought that he was just going to be, your stereotypical edge lord because he looks like an edge lord, like just long hair, deep voice, deep, just I get the job done, kind of like that. But he really does turn into the show's MVP, and he shows that he can actually emote and show other emotions besides just apathy and dickheadness. Uh, and I like that. Like, he became one of my favorites as the show went on because I keep on saying it, but it's true. He really does become the show's MVP, and it's cool to see. Um, what's next? Hacker. We don't really see him much. We only saw him in like the few first episodes, and then a little more in the last few episodes. So I don't, uh, I don't hate him. I wouldn't say I like him. I wouldn't say he's my favorite, but I don't hate him. He's cool. Uh, yeah, I guess we should talk about her. The bitch, the doctor. So she is like you're a sadistic doctor, right? And her whole thing is like she basically wants to control death. I think, um, which is why she wants these two immortal children because she's fascinated by them because her whole thing is that she wants to control like death, somebody's death, and basically it gets her off knowing that somebody else's life is in her hands and she's the reason whether that person lives or dies, and it gets her off basically. And what she does is yeah, yeah, it really made me hate her. Like, I do not like this bitch, and I'm glad to see. And I was happy to see what ends up happening to her. It was really great, really great, really great to see. It's really satisfying. Ooh yeah, yeah, yeah. Fuck that bitch. Uh, anyway, that's most of the Akidama. Oh yeah, the twins. So I wouldn't say twins. They aren't twins. I think I've been calling them twins throughout this video. They aren't twins. They're brother and sister. The brother being the oldest, and the sister being the youngest. They aren't twins. They're just your regular old brother and sister, and I like them too. I didn't necessarily like the brother in the beginning because he basically forced Swindler into this mess, and anybody that messes with Swindler, I automatically hate. But he does grow throughout the show, and we do see why he did this to all of these Akidama because he was basically desperate. He was desperate. He wanted to get him and his sister out of this situation, and he will do that by any means. So I see where he's coming from, and we do get to see him grow and be, I guess I should say, more trusting. He becomes more open, and I like to see, and I like that. His sister is goddamn adorable. Like, there was a time where her sister and by the way, the brother and sister, they don't have names either. They're literally just called brother and sister. So sister and swindler, uh, they spend some time together, and we get to see them grow. Like, not grow. We get to see them like get closer, form a little bit of a bond. Sister even calls swindler big sis, which was goddamn cute, and swindler's reaction was cute too. So yeah, by the end, I ended up liking them too, which again, like, I didn't expect this, but I'm actually getting attached to these characters. But the characters that I don't like, I really don't, because they're they aren't just Akidama. They're these people called executioners, who are basically the police force, who are sent out to take care of Akidama, whether that be either arresting them or outright killing them. So we get to see this. Executioners are in pairs. The first pair that we get is one big male executioner and his apprentice. I don't think they have names either. I think they're literally just executioners. It doesn't help that none of the characters that we follow have actual names, which I may be wrong with the executioners, but yeah. So there's the main executioner, and then there's his apprentice executioner. We get to see their sort of bond with each other. Even though the senior executioner, it does seem like he's kind of sick of his apprentice. We do see that he does kind of care about her a little bit, and the apprentice definitely cares about the main executioner. Uh, so it was cool to see there another perspective, how the executioners see the Akidama as these heartless killers and thieves, and they just want to take all of them out, and which makes you hate them because we're following the Akidama, and we don't want to see any of them die. So that really makes you not like the executioners. But the apprentice, she gets some growth. She eventually finds out that the executioners aren't all that different from the Akidama. Or, in many ways, the executioners are the real Akidama, because some of the stuff that they pull in this show, especially later on in this show, is it's really messed up. Like, even though you get where they're coming from, it's still pretty messed up what these executioners do. And it's very satisfying when we see the executioners get their comeuppance, when they eventually do get it. And we see the apprentice executioner, basically realizing that the executioners, they're just as bad as the Akidama, if not worse. And that was cool to see her slowly start to realize this and sort of question her stance on things, on this whole, the bad guys, who are the bad guys and the good guys. Like, it was good. It was interesting to see that, her progression. And there's the head chief, who's basically like a, yeah, she's like, she's kind of like the Amanda Waller, but with the executioners. But they don't. None of the executioners have these bombs strapped around their necks. So she's kind of like that. She's the head bitch in charge, I should say. She's the head bitch in charge of the executioners. And yeah, I don't like her. I hate her too. She's right up there with the Doctor on characters that I hate. So the characters that you're supposed to like, you like, and the characters that you're supposed to hate, you hate. So yeah, I've I guess I should talk about some other stuff too, because I've spent a good minute on these characters. But there's other stuff to this show too. Um, the animation. The animation is great, especially with the fight scenes, because there's a fight scene between the main executioner and the senior executioner and brawler. That's great. They fight a few times, and the animation from their fight scenes is awesome. And I just like that they don't pause any of the action so the characters can talk and then fight, then pause and talk again, then fight. Like, it's just fight, 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 fight. And there's not a second wasted on just talking. And that's cool to see. Uh, we the senior executioner is a goddamn badass, because at first he was just knocking away Brawler, who's like the strongest Akidama out of this entire group. Then we see him smack Courier around, and the fights between the senior executioner and Brawler are cool. We get to see Swindler also be a badass too, get her hands dirty, and that's cool to see. The animation is just on point. The droids, like the little, I guess I should say, like to this all takes place in like some cyberpunky, futuristic place, city. So they're like these holograms, these androids, not androids, these little robots, flying robots, and we see them blow up, and that was cool to see. The animation, all in all, on point. Like, A plus for animation. The animation's great. The opening, like, I really like. Um, there was a point, I watched this, like, on Friday, I believe, and I felt, and I had to go to work, so I had to skip the opening so I can just get to the episode and finish it before I had to go to work. And I felt bad because the opening is really great, but I made up for it for listening to the full opening on YouTube. So yes, the opening is great too. The visuals in the opening are awesome. There's this neon aesthetic, these little glow sticks, and it's cool to see. So yeah, all in all, Akudama Drive, I loved it. Like, the characters are awesome, the action's awesome, the animation's awesome, the opening is awesome. Like, I really love this anime, and dare I say it, it's actually become one of my favorites. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. In fact, yeah. Akudama Drive, it's one of my favorite animes. Uh, like I said, the characters are great, the animation's great, the opening's great, the voice acting's great. I watched this in dub because I usually watch English dubs of anime. So the voice acting was great, especially for this character called Cutthroat. He's another member of this ragtag group of Akidamas. His voice acting was great, especially this one scene where he's hunting down a character to kill them, and I'm not gonna say which character, but he's hunting down a character, and there's a specific point where he's just slamming his fists on a door, screaming at this character to let him in, and his voice actor went hard. That is some great voice acting, so props to the voice actor for Cutthroat. He did a great job. So yes, this anime is just great. Like, really, really great. Like, I highly recommend this. Like, 2 thumbs up and a J3T stamp of approval. This is like a really, really great anime. I watched it on the watchcartoonsonline.com. I'll leave that website in the description so you guys can go watch this, because I really did my best to not spoil anything, because I really want you guys to experience this anime for yourselves, because this anime is legit great and I highly recommend it. So yeah, that's about it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. But if you really like me, consider subscribing and ring that bell so you always know whenever I upload, because it's free. And like I keep on telling you guys, if you don't subscribe, you're a dum-dum, because it's free. Why would you say no to something that's free? Don't be a dum-dum and subscribe, okay? Okay? Okay. Deuces.